All right, let's keep the car running. So, all right, so I have the EcoFlow Delta 2. So I have it set to charge at, to stop at 81%. So it's already charged. That's the, right there, 120 volt. Right there, that charges it from the inverter in the back. So I got it's running around like that. So basically, well, the purpose should be kind of obvious, but that's what I can plug in. All right. So whatever that uses 120 volt or 110 volt, yeah, I can plug in. And you have the 12 volt back there, well, at the bottom. And I hear it still blazing. All right, so the input would be right there if it was charging. And if something was plugged in, it would be output. This max is 1800 watts. And then I think it's another setting where you can get 2700 watts. All right, so let's go to the inverter. It's Rav hybrid. And that's the inverter. All right, and that's the battery. It's pretty simple setup. This is all plastic and rubber. Yes, these are hot. All right, and I have this little gauge here plugged in there, and this reads the watts and the amps, and to turn it on and off. I don't know if you can see it. It's a on and off switch right here for the inverter. I'm gonna open the door up. Really can't see. So that's why I can keep track of the amp draw. All right, and you can see the power button right there. All right, I'm in traffic right now too, so they're probably getting annoyed, but they can go around me a little bit. I got the door propped open. All right. So it's not drawing any amps because it's set to stop at 81% when it's charged. The deep cycle battery. And you can see. Yeah, got it under the seat. Oh, where are you at? Right there. And the batteries right there. All right, so you pretty much get the gist of it. All right. So it was charging at 4 amps when it was charging. It was charging at 4 amps. That's 500 watts. You set that at the on the app. So 500 watts, 4 amps. It was drawing from the battery, and this battery draws it to the 12 volt battery, which is low voltage. Draws its energy from the hybrid battery, which is under the seat where I was just at. All right, so that's and then the hybrid battery gets its energy from the engine and the regenerated braking. So that's the setup. So this is a lot easier to do in a hybrid than to do in a Tesla. It depends on what the model you have of Tesla. And you got up here, you got the USB ports. Regular USB. Then we got the 3.0 or 3.1s or whatever. Got the blue inside. And we got the Type C and Type C 100 watts. And you can turn it on and off by pushing that button. And you can turn that to screen. And it's a button back. You can turn these. This turns the, opens a circuit breaker or something. So these will be inactive if you click. So it's actually inactive now. And then that actually activates it. So it's at 81%. And that's pretty much what it looks like. So I can plug whatever appliances I want. You know, I'll show you the back one last time. They're waiting for me. That's what I can plug in. So whatever you can imagine can plug in there. Now, when I'm actually using the actual appliance, I gotta turn it off too. Let me turn it off. Now, you don't want to leave that running while the car is off. The car is technically on now, but the engine's off. Turn it off. Put it in the middle. In the middle. Okay, so it's off now. And I have a jump pack with me, just in case. That's the jump. That's the jump pack. In case I screw up or something like that, but like leaving that on. And so when I'm actually using this, I don't have it plugged in. I'll plug it out, because as soon as you plug it in, it'll automatically start to charge. All right, now you can control it through the app. So I just keep it plugged out. When I'm ready to charge it, it'll just start charging. I have to have the inverter on back there first anyway. So when I'm actually using the appliances plugged in back here, I have it plugged out. All right. And then when it drops to, let's say 81% now, start cooking or using whatever, let's say it gets down to, well, at 30%, it'll shut off. I have it programmed to shut off at 30%. And 30% of this battery, it'll stop outputting power. So what I would do is I'm not going to continuously have that plugged in. I'll get it to, let's say, 40%, then I'll come plug this in and it'll automatically start to charge. Now I have to have the car running for that to not kill the 12-watt battery. All right, so yes, when you use the inverter, it does take about less than a half a volt. It brings the 12-watt, the small 12-watt battery down, and about a half a volt, well, less than a half a volt, like 0.30. And the more you wattage you put up to charge the deep cycle battery, that battery's always called a deep cycle battery, lithium phosphate, I believe, deep cycle battery. So the more wattage you put, you draw from the inverter, hence drawing from the battery, the lower the battery voltage is going to drop. So I don't go past 500 watts. So I want to keep that battery, the hybrid battery, charging the small battery over like 12.20. So I'll take my multimeter. Well, I got the little device on there that reads the wattage, the amps, and the voltage. So long as it doesn't drop below 1220, I'll keep I can go up on the amperage draw, which is normally 500 watts, it takes about 4 amps. So it's like a little gauge. You can charge the deep cycle battery at. You can move the gauge from left to right. So it says start on the left side 100 watts, and it goes up to, I think, 1800 watts, I think. So I slide the bar over to 500 watts. All right, and I'll hold it there with so the engine didn't even kick back on. Well, the inverter's off. So and the car is cooling down too. It should be like right here. All right. So ultimately, hybrids are gasoline cars. Okay. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Ninth Ward, salute. Ultimately, hybrids are gasoline cars. So the power is going to come from the engine ultimately. Get converted into energy for the hybrid battery, then energy for the 12-watt battery, then energy for the inverter, my 1,000-watt inverter, then energy into the deep cycle battery. So that's the power flow. And the engine's off right now. So yeah, drawing energy from with this system, yeah, the engine's going to kick on more because it's the hybrid battery is being more depleted. So yeah, that's the power flow, and that is ultimately hybrids are gasoline cars.